Hello, Suns fans. This is Suns Latest. I am Rich Rubin, back from Texas with a new hat. I don't know what the logo means. I just thought it was cool and I like the colors. Our quote of the day, quote, sometimes a player's greatest challenge is coming to grips with his role on the team. And quote, that is from Scottie Pippen. And I know Scottie Pippen is a thorn in a lot of Suns fans' sides. Kind of unstoppable during the 93 finals. But I'll tell you this, I love Scottie Pippen. I still think he's underrated. I think he's a top 20 player of all time, arguably a top 5 greatest all-around player I have ever seen. And I got to see Scottie Pippen from day one out of Central Arkansas until his last days with the Rockets and when he retired with the Bulls. And I am telling you, you have to play with a guy like Michael Jordan. You figure it out or you're gone. He figured it out and then some. Scottie Pippen, essential to the Bulls dynasty. No question about that. I think he gets a bad rap, and I think his legacy is tarnished after the fact. I never said he was an Einstein. I'm not saying he's an idiot. I think, the back and forth between him and MJ so many years later after, well, here's what really happened. It's like, dude, we saw what happened. It's fine. Let it be. You're Scottie Pippen. You're a Hall of Famer. You're as good as anybody. But I love that quote, especially when it relates to Jaylen Green. And we're going to talk about Jaylen Green in just a few. But Jaylen Green is going to have to figure out who he is on the Suns. And we're going to get to that. Some news to start you off. FanFest is this Saturday, September 27th, at the Phoenix Arena. It is free. And I've never been to a Suns FanFest. I went to one in Denver, not the Suns. I went to the Nuggets ABA FanFest because they were doing an All-Star game and they did an ABA thing. When the NBA offers something for free, when a team offers something for free at the facility, and that they say that you can meet the players, get a sneak peek at merchandise, there are contests to win season tickets, you go. If you got time this Saturday on the 27th, you go. It starts at 4 p.m. There's giveaways. There's a photo booth. I have a feeling you're going to meet everybody on the Suns. And, of course, Devin Booker will be there. So it might be a really fun day. That is FanFest. I just read this last night, and not to wish the Houston Rockets, the team that Kevin Durant is now playing for, and we traded him to, not to wish them bad, or not to wish them injuries or bad luck. But Fred VanVleet, who I actually like, and I would love to have on the Suns. My God, can you imagine him and Booker in the same backcourt? But not this year. Reportedly, tore his ACL over the offseason. It's going to sideline him for the entire season if this report is true. I'm assuming they figured it out and they're just waiting to release it, or they're releasing it now, or it's already been released. And remember, these are recorded. If Fred VanVleet is gone for the whole season, everything changes for the Rockets. He is their veteran leader. Kevin Durant is going to be the man, but Fred VanVleet is the Rockets leader, and they rely on him more than you know. Forget about the numbers. Fred VanVleet is one of the most confident veteran point guards the league has. Without him, they're going to have to rely on either Reed Sheppard, who's coming into his second year, didn't really get a good look, hasn't really proven himself, didn't get a chance. Fred VanVleet played a lot of minutes last year. So maybe the Rockets go after Brody. There aren't a whole lot of point guards available. So I don't know what the Rockets are going to do, but their title chances or even getting out of the West have gone way down. If this is true, that makes them a lot more vulnerable. Fred is 100% the veteran leader of that team. Speedy recovery to Fred VanVleet. I am the guy who, yeah, that sucks that the team that are rivals and the team that has a former player that we're not too crazy about, their odds have gone down. I just don't like injuries because it always comes back as, yeah, well, they got there because they beat an injury-plagued team. So I don't like seeing it. The only guy that I like seeing injured is Bill Laimbeer back in the day and today. So that is your news. Here is some new Suns news. You've all heard of a guy named Steve Nash, right? Good. He's going to rejoin the Suns as a senior advisor. I know I am late on this news, but remember, these are pre-recorded. So just to give you the background, Suns owner Matt Ishbia said, quote, I am so excited to share that Steve will join the Suns as a senior advisor and will help us define our future for years to come. That's really good news. That is an uptick for the Suns. In addition to being a two-time MVP, multiple All-NBA first-team selection, All-Star free throw percentage, and NBA assist leader, Nash was also an advisor to the Warriors during their dynasty. Head coach of the Brooklyn Nets from 2020 to 2022, and I think he got a bad rap there. I don't think anybody had any time to figure out what was going on in Brooklyn. It was just, oh, you got these three guys, you should win everything. And that was it. And nobody was going to hear or watch or see anything else. Hall of Famer, Suns Ring of Honor, and most recently recognized as the greatest Sun of all time by the viewers of this here Suns latest podcast. Welcome back, Steve Nash. So let me know what you think about what Steve Nash can bring to the team. As the Warriors advisor, he mostly worked with Steph and Clay, and he just worked with them on their spacing. And by the time the Warriors, that backcourt started getting a little older, you realize they weren't working as hard. They figured out how to get more free. And I think Steve Nash can bring some of that and hopefully work with Booker. My guess is he's been in the shadows with the Suns all this time. Yes, I know he was working with 2 other teams. It's just there's such a connection with Steve Nash to the Suns. Either way, having Nash in the building, think about it. You hit a Suns game, there's a very good chance you're going to see him. So run down there and get an autograph and send me a picture. That'll be pretty cool. So welcome back, Steve Nash. I think this is very exciting for the Suns. All right. I mentioned him earlier in the Scottie Pippen quote because we do need to talk about Jaylen Green. There's article after article after article coming out, and they're mostly negative and criticizing how Jaylen Green simply will not fit with Devin Booker. At the same time, nobody knows. He is going into year 4. In the latest article in Arizona Central, Jaylen Green again said he's not worried about coexisting with Booker. Quote, "We are 2 people who are going to accept the double team and to be able to play off each other," end quote. Green said during a 2025 NBA Summer League in Vegas, quote, "When you look at something like that, it's like we're 2 people who know how to score the ball. We're 2 people who know how to attract the defense. When we're doing something like that, you got to pick who you want to score tonight. He and I are going to be a deadly scoring duo," end quote. Fine. It's not going to be easy coming out of the gate. We're going to see how it goes. There might be nights where we're just shaking our head. There might be nights where Coach Ott is going, boy, do I have my work cut out for me. I don't care about all that. Listen to his attitude. Listen to where he's coming from. This is a young player who was supposed to be the man in Houston. It didn't work out. There were flashes of it. He was up and down. He was streaky. He's not a point guard. We've heard this all before. There's all the negative stuff about Jaylen Green. What about the positive stuff? Like his attitude. It's already better than Kevin Durant's. How about that? We are going to have to wait and see. I don't think we're a lock for the playoffs. I think this team, talent-wise and young legs-wise, has the stamina. And if I'm right about what I feel about Coach Jordan Ott, can make the play-in. If Booker and Green can coexist in the backcourt and they can share the scoring load, I still want Booker to be the main guy, but if they can share that scoring load and facilitate and keep other teams honest, it could be something special. So don't hold your breath with Jaylen Green, but don't discount him and the whole situation either. You know why? Because it's all we got. All right, we are going to we're not going to do a top 15 anymore. We beat that to death. In a few Suns latest, maybe even the next one, after I do the comments right now, we're going to do the top 15 legend of the day. We're going to finish that off, and then we're going to talk about something new. I'm not really sure what it is. Maybe more Suns legends of the day. Maybe we'll talk about the coaching legends and stuff like that, even though we've covered a lot of that. I'm trying to time it so we wrap a lot of that stuff up when the season hits, so we can mostly just talk about absolutely 100% current stuff. But for right now, we're going to put it to rest, maybe for at least one Suns latest. But we want to get to your comments, so let's do it. I think this is a new Suns latest watcher. I used to work in radio, so I always say listener. At KNKRUSE, I love how much you care, and I'm glad to be on this journey with you. Well, thank you very much, and a whole lot of respect. I actually do care, and the more I'm doing Suns latest podcasts, I find that, oh my God, I have cared all this time. It's just been dormant. So the giant has awoken, and this is a good thing to care about because this is a huge part of my life. At Mr. DeCasso 9637. Also, huge congrats to Steve Nash being named a senior advisor for the Suns, and I'm hoping we will not have to add Oso to a trade package. I feel like Jordan Ott can get him going. Yeah, I want to see what Oso can do. He looked like a different player in summer league. That's summer league. Next step is preseason. If he consistently looks like the Oso we saw in summer league come preseason and early in the regular season, we might have something here. To be fair, and to be, just remember it's still a business, Ott can be offered in a trade package. It depends on who we're getting, and that's just simply the type of player he is. Any unproven player, higher level of getting traded. But hey, Suns traded KD, a top 10 player in the league, so anybody can be traded. Just know that. I'm really happy that Nash is back. I just saying the word Steve Nash makes all Suns fans happy. At TJ-ES4IJ, must be trash pickup day. Ha ha. Thank you. You probably didn't even notice the beeping. I have really wanted Jonathan on the Suns for a long time. Seems to be a real defensive game changer. Would be great if he developed a little more on the offensive side. I would love him here. Last few years. Right now he is right position, but bringing in another non-shooter could be tough. Who the hell are you talking about? I know I know you're not talking about Kuminga. Did I mention a Jonathan? Oh, Isaac. Thank you. Sorry. Jonathan Isaac talked about a possibility of the Suns going after this guy. I don't think we need him right now. I do like his defense. Curious Mind 2525. Hello, sir. Excellent show today. This is from before. This is a sidebar to your main theme today, but you made mention of some of the NBA greats some other NBA greats who changed the game, like Nash. Oh yeah, I was talking about guys who changed the game, like Steph and Nash, guys like that. Connie Hawkins, Dr. J. I would like to add two more to the list, both of whom brought the game flash that most fans take for granted in today's game. Julius, Dr. J. Irving, and Pistol Pete Maravich. Damn, I enjoyed watching those two. Any thoughts? You're hitting my heart heavy. Completely agree about Pop. Yes, I'm sorry. That was the next one. Julius Irving and Pistol Pete Maravich. I don't have enough time to tell you how much I love those guys and what they did for the game. I will give you a quick snippet, and I'm almost positive this happened, that they were both drafted by the Atlanta Hawks in the same draft. Dr. J went to the ABA, and Pistol stayed on the Hawks. Pistol went to the NBA with, I think, one of the first $1 million contracts as well. You know what? Maybe putting Suns legend of the day to rest and just focusing on an NBA legend, even if they didn't play for the Suns. Do you think that's Suns' latest worthy? I mean, it's worthy as far as the NBA goes. Do you want me to talk about something like that? Because I could do a week on Pistol Pete. Let me know what you think. Any thoughts? Way too many thoughts. At Pierre Linville, completely agree about Popovich, Ori, and Stern. Yeah, 2007. I still haven't really reconciled that in my head. But to me, and I believe this until somebody shows me and proves me wrong, the NBA didn't want the Suns in the finals that year. There was too many weird things, and I'm really not a conspiracy theory guy. I'm really not. It's like, and the reason why I don't go crazy with it is, of all people, it was Steve Nash who said, that is how the game goes sometimes. Those are the breaks of the game. Weird things happen. Some strategies are really dirty and cruddy, but they work, and that one worked, and you can call it whatever you want. But that's pretty much what Steve Nash said about the hip check into the scoreboard, and then Stoudemire and DL getting suspended in the 07 playoffs when the Suns had the Spurs wrapped up. Dagoon R. The Suns are unbeatable when they score more than the other teams. We should work on that this year. Yeah, and when their opponent scores less, the Suns are usually the winner of that game. At Hammered on PHX, Booker showed everyone his leadership when he took a discount so his team could be more competitive, like Tom Brady did with the Patriots. Or not. Even an insignificant amount would have been significant. Okay. Booker showed leadership by staying with the Suns and signing the extension and not, has Booker had a bad quote ever in his career? He is so loyal as a Sun. Tell me if I'm wrong. Has Booker expressed unhappiness being with the Suns? I really have to dig deep to find anything like that. Yeah. Sulfin10. People who didn't follow the Suns during the Westfall eras can't understand how good he really was. Yeah, Westy was as good as anyone, and is still arguably the most underrated 3-time first-team All-NBA player in history. This is my hill, and death can take me anytime. You're not going to convince me any different about Paul Westfall. At Joey Tremendous, 68-85. Nash running D'Antoni's high-paced 7 seconds offense was amazing. Changed the league. People think the Warriors did it first. No, sir. Suns and Chuck. Definitely my role model. This is so great. You guys, this is why I love the comments. You guys give me ideas for upcoming Suns latest. We're going to have to do at least one segment, if not a whole a whole podcast about the Suns the 7 seconds or less Suns and the players and how it worked, and how, even though a lot of the role players changed, D'Antoni, Marion, Stoudemire, and Nash, that core that ran over the league. Absolutely cool. Agreed, Mr. Tremendous, and you must get into a lot of bar fights. Okay, that wraps it up for today's Suns latest. I really appreciate you watching. I am Rich Rubin. I am back home. No more Texas hats, maybe one or two. Keep commenting. Keep telling your Suns friends about this. And one really cool side note, the late Al McCoy's son, Mike McCoy, who still works in radio and has his own podcast, and I'm going to bro him out pretty soon, he is now subscribed. He is now watching. So if you have questions about the late, great Al McCoy, ask me. I'll forward them on to Mike McCoy. And anyway, I just thought that was like a really cool thing to have. And we're going to do a very special tribute to Al McCoy. We're going to do a whole lot more stuff as the season comes on, instead of like lists and stuff like that. We're just going to make, one more legends of the day for the Suns. I appreciate you watching. We'll do it again soon.